happy 2020. See?
Our vision is great this year.
Oh, but our jokes haven't gotten any better. So we're going to take a look back. Back to 2019 and all the fun we had in 2019 on top of me working every single day of the week. Enough of that.
Don't get him going down that road.
So one of our goals in 2019 was to stay at places other than Lake Murray.
Other than our familiar comfort zone areas.
Move out of our comfort zone a little bit. So, I mean, with that goal in mind, our first 2 trips were to Lake Murray.
There were reasons for that, though. That was the flooding, right?
No. It was just because we like Lake Murray.
I thought that was
the first time was because we like Lake Murray. The second time was because the Dallas RV show.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And we like to stay there or down at WinStar, one or the other.
We don't have to drive
for the Dallas RV show. I don't like. I mean, one of the things that some of you may know because you've been watching long enough, but others of you may not be aware. When I get off work Friday morning or afternoon or evening, whenever it is I get off work, I do not want to drive more than just a couple of hours. And to get down to Dallas or any state park in the Dallas Metroplex area takes more than 2 hours. So.
And what some of you may or may not know is I don't drive this thing. So.
Yeah, she's a scaredy cat.
That's right. Yeah.
So in March, we actually went to Lake Eufaula State Park. That wasn't our first visit there. We kind of cheated a little bit, but we don't go there often. But we did wander over to Honey Creek Battlefield, which was pretty neat. Not a whole lot there. As a matter of fact, I think the museum was closed because the one person running it was camping at Lake Murray.
Probably.
But that was fun. After that, in March again, so twice in March, we went camping. Went to Great Salt Plains State Park up in north central Oklahoma. That was fun. That's where your Subaru got acne.
Yeah.
But it was a fun trip.
Yeah, where people mine for, what are they?
The crystals, selenite, or I think it's selenite.
Yeah, but we were there before.
My dad would hear me stumbling over what it was, and he would
disown you.
Well, no, I'm worth too much for him to disown me.
Okay, I'll talk to him about that.
In April, we wandered over to Robbers Cave. That was a new spot.
That was fun.
It was fun. I mean, I don't think it's a place I would go to in the summertime because there is a lake nearby, but it's not like you can camp on the lake.
It would be much more fun if we had a Jeep during the Jeep Fest that we were at.
Yeah, that's true. We did go there during one of their Jeep get-togethers. Jeep, I believe it was called Jeep Invasion, aptly named.
We were invaded.
After that, the princess and her husband drug us down to Dallas for a Comic-Con. Can't remember what it was called, but it was a Comic-Con type thing.
It was one that, oh gosh, what's his name? Oh, I can kill myself for forgetting, but the Chewbacca.
Yeah.
He was supposed to
Peter
be there.
Mayhew.
Yeah, Peter Mayhew was supposed to be there, and he didn't make it because he passed away like the week before.
Yeah,
so
like a couple of days before that show.
That was kind of sad.
And he's actually from the Dallas area, or not, I mean, it's from like over the pond, but he lived in the Dallas area.
We've
at the
seen
time.
him several times, but that was a sad point of that trip.
But Cedar Hill State Park, it was a pretty cool state park. It looks like a fun place to visit in the summer, but being where it's located is probably a very crowded place to visit in the summer too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the Dallas skyline quite clearly from there.
And I would think people that live in Dallas would want to get away as much as they can. So. Not that it's bad. It's just busy,
Yep.
busy.
But that was May, early May, and then in May we took off to Black Canyon of the Gunnison. On the way out, we actually stopped at the volcano, Capulan.
Yeah.
Capulan Volcano
That we always look at
National
and say,
Monument.
hey, did you know that's a volcano? Going
Been by there countless times on the way out and all the way back from Colorado. But we actually stopped in this time, and it was neat.
It's not a 2-visit place.
No,
but it
was a neat
good.
place to stop by. There's no place to camp nearby. I mean, no place at all to camp nearby.
Well, maybe there might be a Walmart or something.
No.
Okay. No place. You're...
No place. So it is a drive-by, but it's a pretty neat place. Then we went from there and stayed at Colorado City KOA. This is, I don't know, the second or third time we've stayed at that KOA. There's nothing real super special about that KOA, but the people that run it are just super good people. I mean, very nice people. I mean, if nothing else, we go there to give them our money.
Which we could just mail it to them or something, but it's more fun.
It's more fun to drive there.
In person, say hi. I'm sure they want to see our smiling faces.
And from there, we went over to Black Canyon of the Gunnison, going over Monarch Pass in the snow, possibly illegal for us to be driving through there without chains at the time.
We did not realize that, though.
Honestly, we did not know that until I was editing the video when we got back home.
We even passed police that had semis pulled over, and
for doing what we were doing.
We weren't at all concerned because we thought it was semis only.
Yep. So, just a word of warning when you're traveling through Colorado or any mountainous area, take a look at the traffic laws or their local DOT website, whatever. Become familiar with it. That was a failing on my part, but
you usually do. You're usually really good at knowing the laws of the land and the places, but
not that time.
You're probably too busy concentrating on all the snow on the road.
But Black Canyon of the Gunnison.
Wonderful.
Oh my gosh, that is a really neat place. I do want to go there in the summer.
Yeah, but it was a good place to get snowed in too.
Yeah, we got. I mean,
we literally got snowed in, where we couldn't leave.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, I'm glad we went in the snow. We got to see it in the snow. Now I want to see it without the snow.
And thankfully, we got our hiking done, basically, the first day. For some reason, we decided to do it, which was great, because then they closed off all the roads right after that.
And from there, we went over to Ouray.
Yep.
And had a blast out at Ouray.
Did the $1 Million Highway for the first time.
Yeah, took the $1 Million Highway in the Subaru, not the motorhome. Though we would do it in the motorhome. Honestly, we would.
The perimeter hike.
The perimeter hike was priceless. We do a lot of hikes and a lot of hiking, and I couldn't tell you how many trails we've been on, but there's only a few trails that we would really do again. And I think that
again, I would do that one several times.
Yeah, that perimeter trail hike, it was fun. It was enjoyable. Looking out over Ouray in several places. I mean, I don't remember how many waterfalls we come across. I mean, it was just an enjoyable hike.
Yeah. You're going around the entire city, the entire circle.
And we weren't, at the end of it, I mean, there were some strenuous parts to this trail, but at the end of it, at the end of the day, when we were going back to the car, we weren't dragging. I mean, we've been on some hikes, trust me, where we needed somebody to deliver the vehicle to us.
Yeah.
But this wasn't one of those. So yeah, Ouray was awesome. And then from there we took off back home and ended up staying at a truck stop in Lyman, Colorado. Was that our first truck stop experience? I think it may have been. It wasn't a pleasant one. I mean, we got good sleep. It's just that when I got up in the morning, the truckers had us boxed in.
Yeah. I got up and came in. He was up early, and he said, well, we'd already be on the road, except, and he lifted up, or
Yeah.
Put
yeah,
up
yeah.
the blinds on the windshield, and there's a truck
Yeah,
right there. Right.
We were parked. We were actually parked in the RV spots at the front of the Flying J.
In our parking place, we were
Yeah.
everything good.
I mean, it's not like we were taking a trucker spot out back. We were out front in one of the RV spots, surrounded by truckers, which I don't got a problem with. What I did have a problem with was the trucker parked directly in front of me, not in a parking spot.
Sideways.
But, yeah. And then in June...
We did eventually get out.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're here.
Right.
There's a tree and a house back here behind
there's
us.
not a semi, so.
Yeah, we did get out. Just kind of spoiler alert, I know. But in June, we ended up at Windstar, and this was the weekend where Oklahoma was underwater. Noah was loading up his animals. We had actually made a reservation at a Corps of Engineers park down on Lake Texoma. And like 2 days after I made that reservation, I got an email that said,
nope,
no,
you're not coming.
Not unless you've got...
Snorkel. On your RV.
So we ended up at Windstar that weekend, which is not a bad place. It's a little expensive, but it's a nice campground. It really is. And then in July, we ended up over at Greenleaf State Park. That was the one where we paddled out in the water, and you had that like Lord of the Rings moment because there was all that growth underneath the surface of the water.
You thought you were going to look down and see like dead faces looking up at you.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was pretty.
Lots of reeds.
Beautiful, beautiful state park. And
kind of out in the middle of nowhere,
yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, we weren't getting hardly any reception, cell phone reception, and I think we got TV, but we didn't really have cell phone reception. Yeah. But it was a gorgeous, gorgeous state park. I mean, that is one where I can see us returning to.
I can go back to that. Yeah.
Then in August, we ended up out at Mom and Dad's out in Arkansas. We like to go out. We like to park in the driveway at Mom and Dad's house.
We like them.
They're okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Got to get to know them a little bit, but.
Not like us, that you just instantly are in love with.
And, come on, I mean, we're
no
charismatic
faults.
people.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully this year I can get out there more often. I really do enjoy spending time out there. That was on our way out to Virginia. So we left Mom and Dad's and then stopped at a KOA in Nashville. This was like the KOA tribute tour. This trip.
It kind of was. Yeah. Even destination.
Yeah. Then Lynchburg. We stayed at KOA there. Did a little bit of Blue Ridge Parkway. Just kind of explored the couple of miles north and south of where we were at. And then we headed on up to Shenandoah National Park. You know, I got just a little bit of flack from this comment, but
did you?
Not much. I mean, just a little bit. I mean,
because it's boring. More flack. Sorry.
Just not much of that. Not much of a national park, and I mean, there's a road that goes through it, and there are several hiking trails, and they were enjoyable.
We had fun hiking.
Yeah,
it wasn't much different than the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Yeah,
it was. Just
as a matter of fact, it was just like a designated area of the Blue Ridge Parkway that they called a national park.
You didn't feel like you would come into. Most national parks. Grand Canyon, okay, you might see some canyon
That's
stuff,
but
obvious. Right, well, I know, but there's canyon outside of Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
But you get into Grand Canyon, it's like, whoa, it's like so much bigger and nicer. And you might see petrified forest. You might see
Right.
petrified trees everywhere, but then
Yeah.
you get into the park and they're like everywhere. And
Yeah.
this just wasn't that. There was no difference.
Right,
I
right.
mean,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It just, you could have just been still driving down the road
Right.
somewhere.
yeah. Beautiful. I mean,
Yeah,
not
no.
taking that away from it
Yeah,
at
we
all.
spent a couple of days there, enjoyed it. Yeah, no, I mean, come on.
Saw bears.
I'm a guy, and there were skinny dippers at one of the waterfalls. What's there not to enjoy?
Male skinny dippers.
Shh. And then from there, we blasted over to Chincoteague, and I mean, really blasted. We expected to go through D.C. and get tied up in traffic, but if you go through D.C., go through on a Sunday morning, it's like driving through anywhere else.
We'd never been through D.C. or that area, actually.
Yeah. Chincoteague was fun.
Yes.
We spent several days at Chincoteague. Got to see a rocket launch over at the Space Center right there, Wallops Island. Spent many hours playing in the water. And
staring at horses.
yeah, got to look at the horses, got to explore a little bit of the island. It's just I don't know why cameras still time out when you're recording a video. After so many minutes they stop.
Crazy.
Has something to do with something that I'm not aware of. Yeah, we did the KOA tribute tour all the way back home, and then in August,
August.
September, that's when football season kicks off. So our
Lake McMurtry.
Lake McMurtry trip. So the next couple of weekends we spent at Lake McMurtry, and then took her up to, that was October. In October, I took her up to Springfield, Missouri, check out Fantastic Caverns and Wilson Creek Battlefield, and oh yeah, Shinedown.
Oh yeah, my surprise Shinedown concert.
That was fun.
Yes, it was.
Had a lot of fun. Took the bikes with us because we were going to do some mountain biking too, but it was raining pretty much the whole time we were there. Then the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weekends after that was Lake McMurtry. And there was a weekend in there. We did a couple of long weekends and took the mountain bikes, and for the first time after staying up there for several years, we took our mountain bikes on the mountain bike trail there at the campground, and they were awesome trails. I mean, especially compared to that stuff that they have down at Lake Murray.
Football season is hard for us to do stuff like that because it's get there Friday, set up, Saturday is all day football, and then we go home Sunday. So that's why these long weekends, like you said, we finally got to do that.
And then just a couple of weeks ago, we stayed at Windstar so we could go down to Fort Worth and check out some RVs and just relax. Really, it was a disappointing 2019.
It wasn't bad.
66 nights. Yeah, see, the year before it was 74 nights. We went backwards. We're not supposed to do that.
That's true. We're supposed to go forward.
Yeah.
By the way, if you watch our videos, I would notice this on somebody's videos, but we did lose our standard poodle in November, the day before Thanksgiving. He had nasal cancer since June, and then we lost him finally the day before Thanksgiving. So going forward, you won't see him, and if you're like me, you'd be going, where's that dog? Because that's what I notice is the animals and the kids. So he is gone, but he's still here. He's just not with us.
And I was going to say that so she wouldn't have to.
I didn't know that, no.
I was actually going to say that a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, good pup, big pup. He didn't do his job though.
What was his job?
His job when you got him was to go on runs with you
He went on runs. He was great.
for about half a mile.
Well, but he was great. He loved to hike.
Yes,
He loved hiking.
he was the hiking dog.
Yeah.
He knew the trail. I don't know if it ever came out on any of the videos, but if you watch him close enough, you'll see him off leash up ahead of us on the trail. And he would follow those trails. He would hike us. He would lead us down those trails.
And he'd get to a fork and he'd turn around like, okay, which
Yeah,
way?
which way are we going? And really, I would just have to point, and he would go off that way.
Yeah.
He was the best hiking dog in the world.
Yeah.
If we find another hiking dog, as long as he doesn't bark and bother people at the campground, we might hang on to him. I don't know.
We hang on to all of our dogs. It doesn't even matter.
But yeah, 66 nights in 2019. 2020, we hope to increase that number. Right now, we're kind of discussing our May trip, the big trip. You know, here lately, we've taken big trips in May and August. In August, we're pretty sure we're going to Glacier National Park. In May, it's kind of up in the air. I tried to get reservations at Zion National Park
I think we mentioned that on video, that we were trying to get to Zion.
Couldn't get them. I was there at 12:01 trying to get a reservation for May, 6 months ahead of time, and no, couldn't string together a reservation. So we'll try again next year. So right now we're discussing, both of us, we kind of have this yearning to go back to Estes Park. That is, one of our two favorite places in the world is Estes Park.
We're trying to expand our favorite places, but it's very hard because we keep wanting to go. It's hard to discover a new favorite place when you want to keep going back to your two favorite places.
Very true. Very, very true. The other option is Capitol Reef National Park. Really do want to go there. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a out of the way location, so you got to stock up before you get there. But looks like a fun trip. So we got a few weeks to make up our minds what we're going to do, and then, like I said, we may end up at Lake Murray or Windstar this coming weekend, or actually, as you're watching this video, we're coming back from one of those two places. And I really want to save some of the newer locations we haven't been to yet here in Oklahoma. I kind of want to save those for when the weather warms up,
so we can enjoy,
so we can explore.
Yeah.
And so, around March or April, around there, we'll start looking at other options to go to. One place I really do want to go to this year, and it's going to have to be a long weekend, is Black Mesa State Park up in the Panhandle, just because the night sky up there is
incredible.
I mean, it's amazing. But it's still in the state of Oklahoma, but it takes us 8 hours to get there.
And it's in a different time zone.
The only place in Oklahoma that is on Mountain Time Zone is Kenton, Oklahoma. And that is up there by Black Mesa State Park. But I guess that's about it for 2019. Look back and a little look ahead at 2020. What'd you guys do last year? What was your favorite place to go to last year? I want to know, if you could only go back to one place that you went to last year, where would that one place be?
That last year being, it'll be next year when this goes out. Okay, yeah. I was going to say meaning this year, but
2019.
Yeah, okay. 2019, yeah.
You're confusing me.
Sorry. Don't be confused. Don't listen to me. But yeah.
And where are you going this year? Where do you really want to go this year, and you got plans to go to it? Let us know down in the comments. And in 2020, I'm going to say this one time: like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell so you know when we have videos coming out. With that being said, We'll catch y'all down the trail.
Bye bye.